All right, we are live, going live in all the places here. And welcome to our streaming video today. This is Kitty Chambliss, Master Certified Coach and founder and creator of the Loving Without Boundaries movement and podcast of the same name, as well as the private online community, which can be found on Facebook. If you're not there with us, you can do a search for Loving Without Boundaries, Healthy Open Relationships, and Lifestyle Freedom. And if you're already a part of that group, which is over 15,000 people strong, we are glad that you are there. Happy holidays to everyone. We're thrilled to be here with another important topic. Our topic today is about speaking your needs with confidence. And we are thrilled to be here. And I'm here with our very own Coach B, who has been a part of the team for years now. It's a cool thing to be able to say. So I will go ahead and let B start us off with this really important topic that I'm excited to discuss with you, B.
Thank you, Kitty. Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday to all of you. So, today we're going to talk about needs and how to express our needs with confidence and what might be some of the things that can happen up until that point when we hone this particular skill. And I want to start out with defining confidence in this particular sense, because we can feel confident coming from an energetic place, for example, anger or frustration or resentment. And that can have a certain sense of powerlessness power in the moment. Yet confidence in this sense, when it comes to communicating needs, means that we are assertive in a way that, yes, we are firm when it comes to speaking up for our needs and expressing who we are and what we are about. At the same time, how we express it with the tone of voice, the wording, the energy is pro-relational. So we take other people's feelings in consideration as well. So I definitely wanted to make this distinction that there can be differences in our confidence. It's like, what is the source of our confidence? And I really want to highlight that it is an absolute game changer once we start really tapping into this pro-relational and assertive confidence. And it's not just about that we create the opportunity to meeting our needs. It's also about showing other people or our partners in this case, like who we are, what we stand for, what's important for us. And with that, we help them to have a clear path in our relationship. So they know what to expect, how can they show up for us. So once we start speaking for our needs with confidence, we're gifting ourselves, because we have a much better chance of meeting our needs if we speak about them. And we're also gifting other people, because we give them this roadmap to our heart and how can they gift us meeting our needs. So I definitely wanted to highlight that, because there can be so much fear around speaking for our needs. And a few blocks that I experience myself and that I keep seeing is the missing clarity on what specifically a need is, and not having the proper skill set to effectively communicate these needs in a way that is pro-relational. Or we might not know that being like really specific, like having that crystal clarity about what a need means on a daily basis in practical terms, how important it is. So, for example, if we keep talking about like I love peace or I love to feel connected, it's important to clarify for ourselves first, and then to other people, like how would that look like on a daily basis. So would that mean conversations that have a respectful tone? Would that mean checking in with each other at certain times throughout the day? So having this clarity is really important. And some other blocks that I noticed is it can be really challenging to navigate and to turn around the limiting beliefs and fears that come with speaking for our needs. For example, my needs don't matter, I don't have a voice, I don't have a power to get my needs met, it won't do any good, it will only create conflict and upheaval. If I speak for my needs. I don't have the power. I'm terrified of rejection. Or something else that I've seen shown up is confusing needs with strategies. So that could look like, for example, that I express the need for specific times throughout the day to connect with my partner, and it feels like this is the need, and our language says that that is the need indeed, but underneath that, there might be a need for safety, for connection, for beauty, for comfort. And knowing the difference can create a lot of flexibility in the relationship if I know what is the underlying need, and think in terms of, okay, what might be other ways to meet that particular need. So what can be the strategies to meet that need? So these are just a few points that I wanted to touch on before we dive deeper.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for this really amazing topic. And for those who are watching live, feel free to chime in. If you are on a platform where you can add comments, we'd love to hear how this topic is resonating with you, how it shows up in your life. And we really would love to see that engagement, because that's a way that you can be deepening your knowledge by really interacting with this idea and applying it to your particular situation. We often say in coaching that transformation happens in the specifics, not the general. So we're talking, of course, here at a kind of an overall general level, but we'd love to have you think about, how does this apply to your particular situation, because that's where you can have more empowerment, because from that place you can create more positive change. And I love so much of what you shared there, B, in terms of, you really highlighted some of those common fears that we all have. It's part of our shared humanity, that whether those fears are, my voice doesn't matter, my needs don't matter, nobody's interested in hearing from me, I need to push my needs down and suppress them or pretend I don't have any needs. And a lot of those core fears can come from when we were very little, and maybe when we were a child, and we had coping strategies and survival mechanisms because we had to. Back then when we were a child, we weren't yet able to advocate for ourselves fully from a place of complete autonomy as a fully functioning adult, right? And so a lot of the work that we're doing here is helping people move from any disempowered states and ways of thinking into more empowered states, from that place of understanding that as an adult, we do have choice. We do have healthy mechanisms and strategies and tools that you can use, which is exactly what we're talking about here. And some of that is, just like B was saying, is understanding that we all have universal needs, and that all of our needs are life affirming, positive, and beautiful. And often we may think that our needs are in conflict. For example, when we're talking about consensual non-monogamy, one person who leans a little bit more towards monogamy may have a high need for safety and security and certainty, whereas somebody who leans more the other way towards consensual non-monogamy or polyamory or relationship anarchy, they may have a higher need for adventure, variety, fun, uncertainty. And those can seem like they're in conflict when they really are not. And as B said, it's our strategies that we can get confused with our needs. But at the same time, from a place of empowerment, we can brainstorm together with our partners and our loved ones to figure out how can we meet everyone's needs, and find a way to do that with grace, with compassion, with empathy. And those are skills that can be learned, because otherwise we can start to feel resentment over time if we feel our needs are constantly not getting met, what we sometimes call forbidden needs. If we feel like we ask for a need to be met and we keep getting told no, at some point we might just stop asking for those needs to get met. And then that resentment can build and build, and can eventually become a blockade for connection. It can kill relationships, and sometimes get us to a place of no return if we damage those connections in our lives beyond repair. And that's also what we help people navigate, is how to, in a healthy way, navigate conflict. How do you change yelling and screaming and having those same old arguments where you're just spinning in circles and getting no resolution, that can just feel absolutely exhausting. How do you find a way to turn those misunderstandings into instead deeply understanding your partner's connection, deep acceptance of your partner's viewpoint and their emotions? Because all of our emotions are also normal and natural, and we can create shame sometimes when we're pointing the finger and saying you're too sensitive, or you shouldn't be having those emotions, and shoulding all over each other or shoulding all over ourselves can really create a lot of shame, and that doesn't help at all. That creates more of a low self-worth, low self-respect, which is the opposite of confidence, right? But instead you can learn to build these skills and up your knowledge about how to implement those skills so that it naturally increases your confidence, so that you're coming from a place of empowerment and an abundance mindset. So I'll give the mic back over to you, B, but I really do deeply love this topic. So thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. You highlighted so many amazing points, Kiri, and I especially love the word empowerment. And yes, indeed, there is, and there are beautiful ways to have those fearful, painful, old conversations turn into what we call the field of understanding with each other, and have those beautiful needs-based conversations, and really move away from that expecting mind reading, like, if you love me, you just should know. We've been together for decades. You should know me. You should know that this is important to me. Or what else I've seen shown up is, unfortunately, up until we not cultivate these specific skills for needs-based conversation, we might communicate our needs through demands or criticism, pointing out where the other person is failing. And unfortunately, what happens when we do this is we unintentionally create unsafety in the dynamic, and now the other person is feeling that they have to defend themselves, so they won't be resourced, they won't feel on board to meet our needs. So there are definitely ways to move away from the fear, or giving into pressure, or moving away from people pleasing tendencies, and really turn those old conflicts and misunderstandings and confusions into beautiful conversations that deepen understanding, connection, and acceptance with each other.
So beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing all that. That it's possible to move away from any, like you said, growing disconnection, or where trust is getting eroded, and rebuild trust. That's totally possible. And one of the definitions I love for trust is when we are really meeting each other's needs in a way that helps us to feel safe. And also another definition for trust I love is consistency plus transparency over time. A lot of times people come to us to help heal from infidelity or cheating in the past. And if both parties or all parties are really willing to put in the work and take a step forward together and remember that they're on the same team, it absolutely is possible to heal from any broken trust, so that you can, as we said, speak about your needs and meet your partner's needs, building confidence in yourself as an individual, and also building confidence in your relationship. So in terms of how to move forward, one is to get better and better at getting clarity on what your needs are. That's a lot of how we help people, is helping you, because a lot of people don't even know what language to use when they talk about their needs, or what the difference is between needs versus values. And we help people figure that out. And also learning, again, what the difference, like B said, the difference between needs versus flexible strategies, where you're able to understand that there isn't just one way to solve something. There can be many different ways. And even within a particular strategy, if we come with curiosity and an open heart and a desire to move through that fluidly and flexibly, that's where we can really honor each other and get to better solutions. and also really honoring each other with mutual respect and a sense of balance. And I'd love to maybe give the mic back over to you, B, before we start to wrap this up, because I think you might have a few things that you want to share there.
Yes, so that definitely, like, the mutual respect and aiming for balance within the dynamic is super important. And when it comes to confidence, as I mentioned at the beginning, like confidently communicating, assertively communicating our needs is also a respective tone. And it's also having that self-reflection from a place of compassionate and loving curiosity, and asking ourselves as well, like, what I expect this other person to be, how I expect them to show up, am I able to give to myself and to this other person. For example, there's this need for emotional safety. There's both our autonomous needs and a relational need. So we might want to have that type of safety in our relationship, and it's important to realize those particular points when in our communication we might discredit the safety that's already been there in the relationship. So that's one part of respect, that I honor where the other person is. So I take their feelings into consideration, and I also own my side of the street of how I contribute. For example, the lack of safety deteriorating from time to time, like what type of words do I use? Do I use the right timing when I communicate about my needs? Do I check in with this other person if this is the right time, or they're available to hear what I'm about to say? And balance any in any dynamics, in any phase of the relationship, is really important, that we feel that we can create balanced agreements where all our needs are on the table, and we co-create strategies in a team effort, collaboratory, so that we feel that we created this together and no one feels left out. There might be spaces where we need to compromise and we not get 100% what we want all of the time, yet aiming for that everyone feels okay with what we come up with together can be super important. And this is one of the things that we help the amazing people that we work with as well, to get that clarity, to understand the flexibility around strategies, and to create these beautiful balanced agreements and deepen connection.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Yeah. And I'm really glad that you brought that up and just explored a little bit more what balance looks like, so that there's a mutual respect and more of an equal playing field, where it does feel more balanced, an equal balance of power, so that everyone feels like they have a voice, that their needs are being heard, that you are on the same team to come together to navigate that. So if anything that we're saying here is resonating with you, and you're like, you know what, I really could use some more help. These all sound like amazing ideas and concepts, and I have no idea how to implement them. Know that this is exactly how B and I met. Was B initially booked a call with me. I'm going to put a link on the screen here, and reached out to me when she was going through a hard time in her life and in her consensually non-monogamous relationships. And she was feeling very disempowered. And look at her now. Now she's a part of the team. She's a certified coach, and she's helping beautiful people literally all over the world. And alongside me and our team here at Loving Without Boundaries. So if you would like to have a conversation where we're just going to talk about what are you struggling with and where you ideally would like to be, and if I feel like I can help you and our team can help you and our process can help you, we can talk about what that looks like. And if we're not a fit or the timing isn't quite right, you have my word that I will let you know that, and I will do my best to steer you in the best direction for you based on what we uncover and discover on that call together. So if that's you, if you want to have that conversation, I invite you to go to this link. It's lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply. It simply takes you into my calendar. Just pick a time slot that works there for you. And then there'll be a short intake form to fill out. So it sets us up for success on that conversation, so that we can really hit the ground running and see how myself and this process and our team can help you move away from any unintentional suffering or pain or hurt or traumas from the past when we're talking about building your most authentic life. and learning how to desensitize triggers, release guilt and shame, navigate jealousy and insecurity, and instead learn how to have a community and a support system around you and the skill set to build your emotional intelligence, to learn how to self-soothe your emotions, to communicate in healthy ways where you are feeling deeply heard and appreciated and are your partners as well, and get a blueprint on exactly how to do that. If that's what you want to do, then I encourage you to go to that link, lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply, and just go through those steps that we outline for you very, very plainly. And also, if you're looking for a community, don't forget to come find us on Facebook in our private growing community, which is Loving Without Boundaries, Healthy Open Relationships and Lifestyle Freedom. And I've absolutely loved having this chat with you, B, today, and talking with our community and our growing community at that. And is there anything you'd like to leave everyone with before we sign off?
Yeah, the usual self-reflective questions, especially since you mentioned that. I love saying that as well, that transformation happens in the specifics, not in the general. So it all starts with clarity, like where we are and what we are about, so that we can find those flexible strategies. So question number one, what feels challenging about communicating your needs with confidence? Question number two, and this is one of my favorite questions to notice where we have succeeded so far and to borrow from that. So question number two is as follows: when you are confident in speaking up about your needs in any type of context in your life, what helps you feel that way? Like, what is that success combination? Is there anything from those experiences that you could apply to situations where communicating your needs might feel more difficult? And question number three, what areas of your skill set would you like to improve or strengthen to speak your needs more comfortably? We talked about quite a few points on this, like what a skill set can include. So is it maybe around learning how to specifically identify your needs? Is it having the framework, like the language, like how to have the dialogue? Is it staying emotionally regulated and grounded throughout a challenging conversation? Or is it maybe navigating and turning out limiting beliefs and fears? So what is it for you that stood out from this conversation that you would like to improve on, because you notice that that's a growth area for you?
Thank you for those really amazing questions. So we've really loved talking to you today. We just want to say happy holidays. I'm sure we'll see you again on one of our Facebook Lives streaming across our different platforms here at Loving Without Boundaries. And we just want to say that we are grateful for you. We deeply care about your success in living your most authentic life. That's exactly why we do what we do. And B, thank you for this really powerful and amazing conversation and the heart and the soul that you bring to everything that you do here for our community.
My pleasure.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will see you next time. Take care.